All right, let's get into it. So, what's up next on the docket? We've got Temur Uro Cryptic and 6. So, slightly different version than we were playing before. Doesn't have any Birds of Paradise or any ramp on the one slot, but we are still playing Thought Scour and one of my favorite cards in all of Magic, Lightning Bolt. So we've got Lightning Bolt, Arcum's Astrolabe, and Thought Scour on one to sort of launch us into the mid game. We've got Wrenn and Six, Growth Spiral, and a single copy of Ice-Fang Coatl hanging out here. And then we've got nice clean 4-ofs on Archmage's Charm, Uro, and Cryptic Command. So definitely we've got a very, very powerful mid-game plan that's very much centered around, I believe, bringing back Uro, making repeated land drops, and using our Cryptic Commands to full effect, as well as Archmage's Charm. We've got Wrenn and Six to always keep the land drops coming. And then we've got a sneaky Field of the Dead here in our land base. We don't have any Teleria Wests, so I don't really know how we're supposed to find this thing. It doesn't seem like there's any particular game plan on that. I think I like Mr. Reb's build a little bit better. I think if I was to go in and tinker with something, that would be the first thing I would look at is this land base. But I like the growth spirals. And then the sideboard seems reasonably well set up. I don't know what Surgical Extraction's doing in this economy, but red, green, blue definitely doesn't have the best graveyard hate. So let's roll into the league and see how she goes. It's definitely a lot more up my alley than the Nahiri ramp deck that we just train wrecked to a 1-4, but it was a very soft 1-4. We only won the last one. It was against Mill. This has been a poor day for Magic for me, but I'm still having fun. All right, let's get into it. Me and my hot toddy are ready. Lost the die roll. Good way to start. Hey, bud. We're just getting into it. All right. I'm going to keep this hand. We got stuff to do. All right. Opponent on the proactive plan. We do have Mystic Sanctuaries in this deck. Ooh, the goose. The goose is loose. The goose is bolted. I'm going to fire off Scalding Tarn here. Get out of here, nerd. Second goose. Very well. And some Roy-like sequencing. I like it. That was Roy quality. Alright, so we've got Archmage's Charm out next turn. I do have a second fetch land to get my Mystic Sanctuary engine going next turn, so I'm just going to fire off the second bolt here. I just learned what a hot toddy is. Brian, didn't you top 4 a tournament and win the other one? Okay, so Standard and Pioneer, clearly not die roll formats. I watched you beat our mutual rival, and you got second. Okay, you okay? Only second. I get the breeding pool. I want the second green source here. I'm not sure what we're up against. It's probably blue-green Urza, so I'm going to shock in this breeding pool so I have the Archmage's Charm up here. I didn't shock in the breeding pool at end of turn, because I don't want to take infinite damage. You made second of the WPNQ qualifier, technically. Yeah. He split in the finals, yeah. Yeah. I remember you explaining some of that. All right. Just going to fire off this Archmage Charm pointed at myself, I think. I don't have anything to resolve next turn, though. So, actually, instead of that, I'm just going to Thought Scour myself. If I had something that I wanted to resolve on my turn, I'd play the Archmage's Charm into all of their open mana, because they probably have something like a Cryptic. But, because I didn't have anything big to play there, I think taking the slightly conservative line was okay. I'm going to fetch a basic here and just Astrolabe to draw. We don't need to get our Mystic Sanctuary engine going yet. Wow. I mean, I guess we are playing 4. So at the end of the turn, we're definitely firing off one of these Archmage's Charm, assuming that we don't have to counter anything. This were? That sucks for me. Cryptic bounce their Astrolabe for value. I mean, I think I have to let that resolve, because I can't let them play an Urza. So that puts them up 2 cards, but it's quite an expensive play. Am I letting Uro resolve here? Yeah, I think so. If they were escaping it, it'd be different, but bobble. Goodness gracious. Yeah, us not having found an Uro yet is definitely like limiting our game actions. I think I'm gonna try to draw here. Should I let that card resolve first? I guess so. Because they had enough to Metallic Rebuke, but then if they had fetched afterwards, I would like to draw cards. Sick. Hey, look, field. We found our 1 copy of field. Okay, I can put this Scalding Tarn in play and have access to Mystic Sanctuary, but I don't need it right now, so we're just gonna throw down this field of the dead. And then if they play Uro, we can Archmage's Charm, and if they counter my counter, then I can Cryptic Command to bounce it on my next turn. So then if filter one of the nope. Firing off Urza here? Yeah, okay, so we gotta try to counter this. So we're gonna have a Metallic Rebuke, I suppose. We're going to be in a little bit of trouble. Yeah, and when I played Urza earlier today, this was like, I had the same luck that we had with the Nahiri League, where it was like, every game I was either like, I never had enough gas, or I was land screwed, or just, it was brutal. Double EE on 0, so they have Cryptic mana. Are they spinning Urza? Why? Are they whirring? Oh, wow. They can also escape the Uro in 1 turn. Gross. Nicely played. I wasn't even paying attention to the combination of colors they had access to. So bouncing Uro is like one of our highest upside plays this turn. There's not much else we can do. What do I have in the main deck? I have a Magmatic Sinkhole. That could kill the Urza. If I draw it. I think we're just way too far behind. Turn target permanents to his other hand, draw a card. So we'll do that. Thought Scour. Not great. Considering they have 7 damage in play. Alright. I think we're just screwed here. They have just so much power. Mox, sure. We haven't hit any of our 4 Uros this game. Oof. Emery, sure. Why not? Spinnerza. No, this is the Uro coming back again. Alright. I have no outs for this point. We're just done. Okay, so Aether Gust seems pretty good. Veil of Summer seems okay. Tireless Tracker. And Surgical. I think Gust is probably not that important here because a lot of their really good spells are blue. These seem good. I think I'm going to cut down a Cryptic. And then I don't think I want to cut all the bolts because hello? What? Alright, so again I got screwed out of sideboarding? Super. That's happened to me before this week. I don't know how that happened, but alright, whatever. Turn 1 Astrolabe, turn 2 tap land. Turn 2 Astrolabe, tap land. Alright, this is like not great, but it's got some kind of cool card advantage. I think the one takeaway from this deck versus the other version would be that maybe some Karoo lands might be useful in the other version because it was playing Dryad of the Elysian Grove and Valakut, which was super sweet. So I would have had Veils, Trackers, and Surgical here, but this is where we are. Alright, my opponent's the one burning their clock, so certainly okay with this for now. Get the Sugar Hill Gang's Apache on and let's rock and roll. Come on. We did not score all the goals. We died. There we go. I think. Yeah, there we go. And somehow I got screwed out of sideboarding. I have no idea how it happened. See our beautiful sideboard all here. None of it is in the deck. Alright, so grab my island, fire off this Astrolabe. So, might as well play the Simic Growth Chamber here, I guess. Yeah. Spellbomb, sure. That's it? Okay, so it's a good chance they have something like Mystical Dispute, which they can't play on a Wrenn and Six. But if I don't play a Growth Spiral out ahead of it, so the most efficient thing for me to do here would be play Growth Spiral into Wrenn and Six. But they have 1 mana open, and my read is that that is for Mystical Dispute. So I'm going to just play a Wrenn and Six here, pick up a land, just get the guaranteed, and then I leave up a blue mana of my own. So, and we can always double Growth Spiral the next turn, and we'll still have mana for Cryptic, so it's all good. I think they were definitely shields up there, and giving them an excuse to fire off their Mystical Dispute doesn't sound like the best idea. Okay. Emery didn't hit anything particularly good, so that's good for us. They already know about this Flooded Strand, so we're going to fire that off. Lessons learned from my explorations into the Iceberg deck, too. We're going to be on 8 cards in hand. We're going to be 8 cards in hand. If I Growth Spiral, I get to go down a card. But then I don't have Cryptic up. I guess we're just discarding land here. Not the end of the world. I'd rather have the Cryptic up. Rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Sure. You may have an Astrolabe. Growth Spiral the first. Sure. I can Mystic Sanctuary it back on top of my deck. I can't do that right now. But I could do that. Yeah, okay, so... Okay. Gonna get a tapped Breeding Pool because I want to have that for potential Uros. I'm gonna get a Mystic Sanctuary here. Put Growth Spiral back on top. Ramping into infinity seems real good right now. infinite land drops, which is pretty neat. Like digital watches, infinite land drops are a pretty neat idea. I want to shoot this Emery down, but they have Aether Spellbomb, which I guess taxes their mana pretty heavily, and I'm up a lot on cards. So I think it's worth doing. And it's worth doing on my turn. So they can Aether Spellbomb to save this, but that saves me 1 card draw from the Spellbomb now and 1 card draw next turn. So I'm into that. And we got to sort of protect the queen strategy going with Wrenn and Six this game. Of if we can get the retrace emblem on Wrenn and Six, it's going to be completely busted. So that's the goal. Uro. I think I'm going to try to fire off a counter draw here. Even if they veil me, I get to draw a card here, so it's not as bad. If they have Mystical Dispute, that's fine. Metallic Rebuke, also fine. So, gonna get my second Sanctuary here. Throw Cryptic on top. Cast Growth Spiral. Ramp out this land. And there's an Uro. Let's pick up Flooded Strand again. Put in this Flooded Strand. I could escape Uro. They've got an Aether Spellbomb in play. And as I mentioned before, we're sort of all about this Wrenn and Six right now, so I think that's what we'll try to do. They're on 4 mana, so it's going to be pretty hard for a blue-green deck on 4 mana to attack my Wrenn and Six. Sack to draw. That's a sign of weakness. They scoop? Ha! We won without sideboard cards. Hilarious. Alright, so Veil Tracker. Surgical. We didn't want... I think... No, Sinkhole's okay. So Trim Cryptic, Trim Archmage's Charm. Ice-Fang's probably not getting a lot of mileage here. And Lightning Bolt. I think that seems to be where I want to be at. Oh wait, this hand has nothing that we're going to be doing. Opponent kept their 7, but we're definitely mulling this. This is marginally better. I think I keep it based on the interaction. So if our opponent's hand is hot fire, we're going to be in trouble here. But if they've got a kind of medium 7, we could be okay. Alright. Probably a goose here. Okay. So while I would normally bolt the bird, I think I might let them hold on to this goose for a turn. Since I don't have a lot else going on, I want to keep this lightning bolt in case they do like Emery Bauble here. Okay, so they can get their second food for sure. Okay. So we're going to Steam Vent. We're going to fire off this bolt. Am I? Guess I could keep the Veil. Yeah. So I shocked myself unnecessarily there because I'm tired and not thinking correctly. Now we main phase this bolt. If they have Metallic Rebuke, I can Veil it or whatever they may have. So goofed that one hard. Please flame me in the YouTube comments. You doing it? No, they're just making a food. Shoot. Yeah, that's not what we wanted to see. No play is good, though. Wrenn and Six. Alright. A little slow. And they could Urza next turn, and if they Urza next turn, I have no out. But I can Wrenn and Six this turn with Veil back up. Yeah, I don't think it's worth it. I'm gonna stick with the traditional control mirror logic of whoever blinks first is going to lose here. If I could play a threat and keep up counter magic, I would do so. But I cannot, so... Astrolabe, sure. White. Second Astrolabe, sure. So they're missing a land drop. I think we're going to get a basic... Sorry, Snow-Covered Island here and Charm myself. Nice. Sanctuary lets me reset that. Play the Astrolabe and then redraw it. 6 sequence, bruh. Alright. So as long as they don't magically top deck their 5th land, we're going to be in a good spot if they play Urza here. Oh no, they did it. So they're going to have the counter for my counter. And we're going to be dead. Yeah. Well, that's how she goes. God, that's so brutal. All right. So I did not take out the Sinkhole. Cool. So, Uro. Okay, so I can play the second land here, get 2 lands, and charm the construct, which reduces the power that they have by a lot. They've got a 3-mana counter here, though. We're going to be in big trubs. Let's do it. Come on, baby. Oh, why? Oh, they just tapped it for mana. All right, that's much better. All right. So, potentially okay here. I get an Uro back next turn. They're spinning Urza. I hope they're spinning Urza. They're spinning Urza. Okay. Cryptic. Oh, vomit. All right, so they're going to bounce the construct and draw a card, which is not the end of the world. Yeah. This deck feels like it really could use a lonely sandbar, because we've got Wrenn and Six, but we have no way to make it into a draw engine. Oh my god. What is this doing in there? Wow. Alright, well, so we're super, super dead, right? So I can play Growth Chamber, bounce my Mystic Sanctuary, play the Uro out of my graveyard, draw whatever I put on top, which is Archmage's Charm at the best. I think. So we leave an Archmage's Charm and a Lightning Bolt. Yep. Oh yeah, the way the sequence works, I didn't get to do the thing that I meant to do. Though I drew a Cryptic Command anyway. Put this Lightning Bolt on top, I guess. And she can already Emblem. Oh boy. So I need to keep this Veil up, and I don't have any green left to cast this Wrenn and Six. If I had, oh, I can't cast the Veil either. There was no way to have as much green as I needed on this turn. Whew. This was unexpected. And they could just Emblem this now. Oh, they're gonna EE on 3. Then we take 6. Yeah. Brutal. Alright, that was a pretty okay game, to be perfectly honest. I just got squeezed in a bunch of places on mana. They were on the play. They got exceptionally lucky where they double Astrolabe to hit their land drop, and they did. So we're not out of it quite yet, because next turn I could go Cryptic, tap your team, draw a card. I don't have a land in the graveyard anymore, though. I ate them both. So I think playing this Uro out of my hand is where we're going to start. This breeding pool into play. Do I need the mana? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I do not. Okay. God, we're so screwed. Yeah, we got squeezed on mana, exactly. I mean, it happens. Like that's a lot of the time what these kind of games come down to. That's why I like playing cheeky things like Spell Pierce or, I mean, Veil of Summer was in our hand. We just didn't have the place to weave it in, and like literally the turn we needed it, we were forced to play the Astrolabe to redraw the Archmage's Charm off the top. So if we were in a slightly different position, we would have been okay there, but all right. Cryptic, tap your team, draw a card. Please counter me. Okay, I invite you to get wrecked by my Veil. Not wrecked. They still draw a card. If they've got the second counter here, we're not particularly pleased. Neat. All right. Though Thought Scour lets me get my Uro back. The problem is this Nissa is just not going anywhere, and she's huge. Put the Cryptic back on top. Yeah, of course. I screwed up when I put this Lightning Bolt on top. I don't know why I did that. I was just trying to play quickly at the moment and made a decision that I was like, yeah, Lightning Bolt. It's a great card. I love that card. But it wasn't anywhere near as good as what we needed it to be. All right. So Thought Scour myself. If I hit my Sinkhole, no, didn't hit the Sinkhole. So I can definitely play out this Uro. I don't think it gets me anywhere. I mean, it gets me a card draw. Suppose I can get the Cryptic back again and draw it. That's probably the best thing we can do here. Car wash. Car wash, yeah. Alright. So Sanctuary, put Cryptic on top. Yes, please. Alright. And then play the Uro. Eat Tireless Tracker, 1 Veil, 1 Thought Scour, other Uro. And out of the cards I want to keep, I think I just eat the Veils. I want to leave the Flooded Strand in there because right now I have a Wrenn and Six. Although if I was going to play the Wrenn and Six, I probably should have played it before I got into that sequence. So just bad sequencing all over the place from me. Yeah, I needed to think about that turn more. My brain hurts. All right. Normally I love playing these decks and trying to find those lines, but I just can't get there in this game right now. I'm wondering if they're ever gonna like emblem this Nissa. It's like I guess return target permanent. Oh, they get back to EE. And they just do this all over again. I mean, I guess it kind of puts us ahead in one axis. Now they're gonna play their own Uro. So if I go counterbounce your Nissa or counterbounce my Mystic Sanctuary, I'm gonna go counterbounce my Mystic Sanctuary. If this resolves, we're in great shape. I cannot imagine that it will. They've played a lot of counter magic, so they might be. Have they? No, they haven't really. They've played one Metallic Rebuke. I'm an idiot. They've played a good. No, they played and reset a Cryptic. I'm an idiot. Don't worry about it. All right, so we need to find our Magmatic Sinkhole, I guess. Wrenn and Six can get this Flooded Strand and reset. Okay, so red, green. We get the Flooded Strands. Play the Strand. Get the last Mystic Sanctuary, put the Cryptic on top. Play the Growth Spiral. Draw the Cryptic. Okay, so we've got Cryptic with Archmage's Charm back up this time. So hopefully that'll get there. Oh, no, that's not what I want. I want to bounce. Oh, I clicked the wrong modes. Okay, sorry, I can't. Whew. Oh, just not having a day. Oh, that's what the crown means. Yeah, I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was screwing that game up. It's fine. I mean, it's something I never would have done in paper. We were getting beat up there a little bit, so it was like we were considerably behind, and we just got squeezed in the wrong places. This is a pretty good opener. I'm going to keep this one. We go tapped Breeding Pool, turn 2 Thought Scour, tap land. Sad face looks a lot angrier than I actually feel. Yeah, it's like a very like... Yeah, super frowny. They went to 5. What the hell are they on? Is this Tron? I would guess Tron. Vista? Niv Mizzet? So, I'm actually going to play out Polluted Delta here. Because otherwise I would have 8 cards in my hand. Yeah, I would. Oh, I could have played the Astrolabe there. Okay, we're against some kind of snow deck that had a horrific draw, apparently. I should have played the Astrolabe, but I guess it looks like we're shields up for something. Good God, my brain. Okay, so take the 1. Chase. Sure. Yeah. Well, that's gonna suck for us. Okay, fetch. Let's get the Steam Vents. Against this combination of cards, do I think that I need... So I'm going to go ahead and ramp myself this turn. I think this deck wants to get some powerful things going on, and I think there's a chance they play another like kind of middling spell next turn, which I won't really care about Archmage's Charming. They're almost definitely not an Urza deck. Just some kind of snow mid-range deck, so pulling ahead on mana seems really good. This gives us the option of escaping an Uro this turn. Okay, and they're looting with Jace with no hope of flipping him there, so. Dead of Winter, alright. Okay, yeah, so there's some kind of Sultai snow pile. Oh, they've got Fable Passage. Okay, so they're like the 4-color snow control deck we've played. But they're playing Jace, which seems like an interesting choice. Okay. They got 2 mana untapped. I cannot play Uro and have counter magic this turn. I could play the one in my hand. That doesn't seem particularly good. This is a game where Wrenn and Six would have been really good. I'm not really sure why this deck isn't running 4. Which is weird to say because Wrenn and Six doesn't really seem like a 4-of kind of card, but it's really, really good as a 4-of. They could definitely flip their Jace this turn, but I don't think I'm particularly worried about it with what's in their graveyard right now. What are they doing? Ice-Fang number 2. Yeah. Very low on resources here, so. They put Snow-Covered Forest in the bin there, so. Field? Yeah. I think we've got a pretty decent basic count. No, we don't. That was a different deck I was playing. It's got like 5. 1 target creature. Yeah, cool. So I think we're going to go end of turn, Growth Spiral, and then try to bounce the Jace. Field? Sure. I currently have 3 islands, so play my Growth Spiral, put the Growth Chamber down, bounce my tapped Breeding Pool, take 2, and then Mystic Shoot. I was thinking I still have the Breeding Pool. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to Archmage Charm myself instead then. Jeez. Ugh, I haven't made that mistake in a while. I got 2 mana. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't have the same ring as 3 mana. Good gravy. Alright. So I can play an Uro this turn, but I can't keep the counter magic up behind it. Go Shock Breeding Pool, play second Uro. We're just really flooded on these cryptics. Trigger. Put the same Growth Chamber down. Bounce one of my basics. Okay. So we've got basic, island, and mountain left in the deck. Okay. Sky Snecks getting in for damage. Alright, we're going to go end of turn. Bounce Jace, draw a card. We're just flush with cards. We need to start taxing their resources. They let that happen. Sweet, I got double bolt to clear out these Ice-Fangs. Okay, so I could play Uro and keep up Cryptic. But I think I can wait one more turn. I think I can clear out their Ice-Fangs first. Alright. Alright, deck, you want me to draw Lightning Bolts? Got it. I'm going to take the hit here, rather than tap myself lower during combat. Jace is fine, I got a bolt for him. So. One for Jace, one for one of the Ice-Fangs. We're going to have infinite Mystic Sanctuaries. Cool. I'm gonna play this. Yeah, I'll play the Growth Spiral now. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mana. Hooligan's Command. Target player discards a card, and they want their Ice-Fang back. Crap! I only have 3 mana. Man, they really picked a good time to do that. Alright, discard the Flooded Strand. Well done, opponent. Of course, they're tapped out for my turn, so I guess 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Play my own Ice-Fang at end of turn then. Colgan's Command for Ice-Fang. That's some value. Okay, we're gonna play Mystic Sanctuary. We're gonna put Archmage's Charm on top. Yes. Tap these two. Play Uro. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. He's a big boy. Should have played the Astrolabe first so that I could see if I drew a land to put into play with Uro, and then put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. So it's actually enough to play Archmage's Charm and Cryptic Command, so. Deck feels much better than the last one. Thank God we started with the other one. Yeah, that's kind of how I staggered them on purpose. Dead of Winter. Alright, so counter target spell, return target permanent to its owner's hand. So let's reset a Sanctuary. And as Roy will no doubt be chomping at the bit to point out, this Dead of Winter will not kill my Ice-Fang Coatl. It won't. Second Dead of Winter. What about Archmage's Charm? Okay, so they only have 1 mana, so they cannot play their second Ice-Fang. So I can play Mystic Sanctuary here, reset my Lightning Bolts. Play this Astrolabe. Draw it. Okay, I also drawn it with the Uro. But, so we go attack with these. Trigger. Put this into play. Play the bolts. Get out of here. Crack in for 7. And then play the second Uro. Keep the Uro that will not die to these triggers. Drew Magmatic Sinkhole, which at minimum is a piece of removal for Ice-Fang. The umpteenth Dead of Winter. I think this time I just let it happen. I know one of the cards in their hand. Alright. Counter target spell, return target permanent. Spell permanent. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. Sweet. Escape their own Uro. Which I'm way ahead of them, so this is fine. So, Thought Scour myself first. Oh look, Field of the Dead. Neat. Play Mystic Sanctuary, put Cryptic on top. Attack with both. If they want to trade for my Uro, that's fine. Hey, look, a Field of the Dead. Now I have zombies. Yeah, they want to block. That's super. I'll play my own Uro again. And we'll take out... Okay, they scooped. Whew. Just going to throw it over the idle screen for just 2 seconds so I can close something. Alright. Here we go. Okay, so... Definitely want Veils. I think I want Trackers and Surgical. And I think that's it. Aether Gust I don't think is super great in this matchup. Obviously I haven't seen their whole deck, but this seems great. Sinkhole seemed really bad. This generally hasn't been impressive tonight. One Sneck was like less than great. Bolts were not so good. They were okay because we never drew Wrenn and Six, but I think Cryptic can go out. We've got 1 in a Cryptic now. Oh, my brain. All right. Yeah, his hand doesn't do anything. This is much better. Yeah. I think we ship the Sanctuary because we have infinite land drops with Wrenn and Six. They're on the play. All right. It's more risky than I was thinking, but I think it'll be okay. So this goes through Steam Vents, and then we have Wrenn and Six. Second Tracker is a pretty bad draw. Why did you take out the Sinkhole? So I haven't seen anything in their deck that it kills that's relevant. It can kill an Ice-Fang Coatl. Oh look! This is the thing it's supposed to kill. But of course they wouldn't draw it until game 2. Alright, I was supposed to get Steam Vents with this at end of turn. I was talking about how I screwed up sideboarding, clearly, because they immediately play a Wrenn and Six in game 2. Luckily I have my own to fire back with, so we're going to be okay. So hopefully, blech. Yeah, they're basically playing the 4-color snow list that I really, really like. That was an excellent draw, though. So we're gonna go Uro into Astrolabe, which feels kind of bad, but because I don't really want to play or crack the Misty Rainforest with this Tireless Tracker hanging out of my hand, but this deck is playing like 27 lands. Yeah, there's one of them now. I don't have enough islands for that. I suppose it lets me do a whole bunch of stuff next turn, including the tracker. Can I double bolt next turn if I play that Sanctuary? I can. Yeah, so we definitely want to, yeah. So there is a chance that what we do next turn is go Bolt your Wrenn and Six, Mystic Sanctuary, Astrolabe, Bolt your Wrenn and Six, Surgical my Uro. That's what I wanted to do to you. Yeah. That's a good thing we didn't have one in hand. No, I can agree that like it's possible there were things in their deck that we didn't see, but that was a long-ish game. Like they drew a reasonable amount of cards, and like they didn't play a single Wrenn and Six, so I felt quite comfortable thinking that they would be on a different list. Like the fact that they would be on like a carbon copy of what I've played before is just unlikely enough. And they had Abrupt Decay, not Assassin's Trophy for my... Oh my god. Brutal. Alright. I definitely get to resolve a tracker here. But I cannot fetch. We do at least get a game 3. There's no Ashioks in my sideboard? Seriously? Weird. Can't stop that. Sure. So I can kill their Ashiok. But that would leave them with this Wrenn and Six ultimating, so I gotta bolt it. And then I can reset the bolt. So play tracker. Reset my bolt. We got some kind of okay stuff going here, but like their pile of 5-color removal is going to be able to get through it. I'm like 99% sure. Hopefully they field me here. That'd be sweet. Field my Scalding Tarn. Just do it. It'd be sweet. You'd be like, yo, I fielded this guy's Scalding Tarn and he like let it resolve. What a scrub. Okay, so this doesn't currently get a land. So yeah, that resolves, unfortunately. It feels like they're playing a copy of the 75 I played before. However, that deck did not play Surgicals. It played Leyline, although Surgicals might be better right now. Okay, because I don't know if there's a land on top, I'm just going to crack this clue. Bolt's an okay draw. Okay. Wrenn and Six is an okay draw. Not great, but lets me get the Snapcaster off the battlefield. I have Archmage's Charm here if they try to fight my Wrenn and Six. It's not great, but cool. Poke. Get out of here. Alright. We're good. I want to play Snapcaster Mage. I feel like a spoiled kid who wants another kid's toy. Yeah. Oh my god, they made the play I was talking about. Why would you do that? That's so greedy, right? That's really greedy. You're supposed to get my dual land. Because then it reduces the number of things I can fetch. Yeah, like the 4-color Iceberg deck is great with the Snapcasters. That's like everything I want to do in this format. Snapcaster and Wrenn and Six. Brian's got Stoneforge, I've got Wrenn and Six. I mean, it was funny because I was making that line as a joke earlier, and then they did it. All right. Yeah, that's fine. That's not really doing that much on here. I guess it pressures my Wrenn and Six, but I've got a Lightning Bolt if I need it. Pick up their field. Yeah. Yeah, Stoneforge is great. I love Stoneforge Mystic, but I'm just saying, like, Stoneforge is like the thing that I think you always want to play, and I always want to be playing Wrenn and Six. Like, ever since this card came out, I'm like all about it. It's like the light that you use. Yes, Brian is the Stoneforge superhero. Okay, Cryptic's something. Okay, so I could bolt. Could bolt Wrenn and Six, play Growth Spiral, pick up the bolt Wrenn and Six. They're not super likely to be able to do anything about it. Alternatively, I could do the same play on Ashiok, and that kind of unlocks my game a lot more. I think the Wrenn and Six is the bigger threat here. And if I do that, it means I can ping their Ice-Fang Coatl. Okay. Sanctuary my bolts. I suppose if they field me here, oh, that forces me to shuffle, right? Yeah. Yeah. Good play. All right. I could Cryptic to bounce the land. I could Cryptic to bounce this land, or I could Cryptic and bounce a different land and draw a card. Oh, I could bounce the Ashiok and draw a card, because I'm not planning on killing it this turn. I think that's what we're going to do. No, I could bounce my Sanctuary and draw a card, right? But I've already made my land play this turn. So it rescues my Bolt from getting shuffled away, but oh no, I still get the, oh yeah, no, if I bounce the, okay, so I can bounce the Sanctuary. Yeah, got it. So return, cancel. So return target permanent to its owner's hand and draw a card. Return the Sanctuary. Okay, drew the Bolt. Now the field resolves. I get the mountain out of my deck, so don't even need to use my Astrolabe here. I am out of basics, but we've got a Wrenn and Six in play, so probably going to be okay. Growth Spiral resolves. Oh, I get to play another land. Neat. I will do that. And I'll put Cryptic on top. Sure. Yep. Okay. Ping, Ice-Fang, Bolt, the Wrenn and Six, Snow Mana, play the Astrolabe. Neat! Alright, kinda pulling back into this, maybe? Probably pulling back into this, and my voice is feeling better. Yes, I think you saw the line I took there. That was super neat, Roy. I'm glad I got that on video. I wouldn't have believed that I could do that. They finally activated their Ashiok. I'm already down both my trackers and all the Uros, so it's not the best. But we weren't actually down that many lands. There's nothing for Wrenn and Six to pick up, though. But that's fine. They also don't have anything going on. But I think this might be one of those matchups where we're glad that our deck has so much gas in it. Yeah, my voice is back. At least mostly. Alright, this is the end of turn. Archmage Charm ourselves with the ability to Cryptic on backup. Nice. I'm going to Growth Spiral since I drew it. Oh, Growth Chamber. So Growth Chamber is kind of gross in this deck because you get to bounce Mystic Sanctuaries. Alright, I'm going to mill ourselves here, try to put a land in the bin. Did not. Alright. So, Mystic Sanctuary, put another Archmage's Charm on top. Maybe Thought Scour. And then put the Thought Scour on top. I think one of the things I have to consider about this game, though, is how we're actually going to win. Because I have no Uros in my deck. My trackers are both down. If I took out the Ice-Fang, which I did... Oh, there's a Misty in there. I'm so bad at this game! I don't know why... Yeah, it's all good. We're going to be fine. I think Wrenn and Six ult is our win con, and I think there's one more Lightning Bolt. opponent burning their clock down a little bit here. They Ashiok mill me. Brutal. They hit my surgical, so no more taking away their Uros. I think they pretty much have all of their mana producing lands in play though. Oh yeah. Zombies. Because they don't have a field right now, and they don't have a Wrenn and Six anymore. Alright, we have a plan. I'm going to Wrenn and Six ping their Ashiok. I'm going to play the second Wrenn and Six and ping their Ashiok again. Because the threat of decking is super real. We found the better win condition, Roy. Faster, stronger, and with more zombies. Win con! We forgot we had one in the mana base. Okay, that's their last land if they've got the same build as what I was playing before. So they've got all 10 of their mana producing lands out. Which aren't matching, by the way. Just thought you should know. It's just a big deal. You know, it's not matching. So they can put us down to 14 cards in library, which is like not the best. Abrupt Decay my Wrenn and Six. It's actually not a big deal right now. Assassin's Trophying my field would be worse, but I have a Cryptic to protect it and scoop it back up. Clothis. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have enough to Cryptic and Archmage's Charm. So I think I'm gonna Archmage's Charm because they still have this Ashiok in play that could exile it if they let it resolve. So even though I could bounce my Mystic Sanctuary for this, I'm not going to. I'm gonna attempt to preserve this Cryptic lifeline. It's a good chance they just Ashiok mill here. They did. So there goes our second bolt. So we're just all in on this field. And we've got Cryptic plus this one Mystic Sanctuary. Growth Spiral is a good draw. It means we can loop the Cryptic at instant speed, which is pretty neat. It's also worth perhaps thinking about end of turn just bouncing Mystic Sanctuary to generate more zombies. The fact that they didn't do anything means good gravy. Alright, counter target spell, return target permanent to its owner's hand. So target my Mystic Sanctuary. See if we can get this through. They do have a counter, huh? I guess we'll see if my Misty Rainforest can get me another zombie. I'm not actually going to check. Trophy my field in response. That's brutal. Alright. I can, in fact, get... Alright, what's left in my deck? Charm, Cryptic, bunch of lands, and a Thought Scour. Okay, so we kind of need to save this thing. So let's get untapped land, zombie trigger. Let's play this Growth Spiral. So there is another Cryptic. Oh, Misty? Sick. Alright. So, not going to be able to save the field. But if they don't have Dead of Winter to play right now, I think we're going to be okay. Use Assassin Trophy's ability. No. There's no basics in my deck. Oh, they let me... Okay. They didn't have a counter, but they were... Okay, got it. So I can Mystic Sanctuary, put the Cryptic back on top, and then I can Thought Scour them. Okay. So we've got Cryptic back up for our 5 zombies. Yeah, this whole game, they're punishing fire in the deck. I guess, essentially. So as long as they don't have... Yeah, we got there. All right, that was super sweet. I was feeling like really, really crappy going into that, just because I'm tired, and that last the last league and the first match of this one were so brutal. This deck is neat. It's doing all the neat things. All right, I'm just gonna grab some water. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish this league tonight. I'm pretty wiped out, but we'll see. I mean, the first deck from tonight was like a bad version of a like just throw stuff at them deck and hope that you win. Like, there weren't a lot of interesting decisions to make with it. Whereas, like, I'm pretty sure you can see now why I like the card Cryptic Command so much. Like, there's just so many decisions that come up. All right, keeping this. Just have to make sure that we fetch red and green in our first ones. Might be a pretty painful one, but we also have the option of fetching a steam vent with the Scalding Tarn and have the lightning bolt up on our first turn. So this is a really nice interactive hand if we play against anything like humans or any deck with creatures. We're going to be in a really good place. Play against Infect, we're going to eat them alive. Against El Rey here. El Rey. El Rey. It's scary having no knowledge about how you're going to win game one. I completely disagree. That's what I like about playing decks like this, is that when you design a deck that has this many like hypermodal cards in it, every game that you play is its own journey. And I really like that part of Magic. I really, really like I start at point A, and yes, I'm going towards point B. But I don't know how I'm going to get there. Is like a pretty exciting part of Magic for me. So do I shock myself against turn 1 Arbor Elf to bolt it so that I can play Wrenn and Six and just start going nuts on lands on turn 2? I think I do. There's a good chance their deck has lightning bolts in it or otherwise. There's a chance I get punished for that choice, but I think I think I'm happy with that. I think the most important thing is to have a reason that I did that, because I had the option there of just killing the Arbor Elf with Wrenn and Six, but I chose not to, and we'll see. Yeah, so they almost definitely have red in their deck. There's a good chance they're a Blood Moon deck, so from this point on, we're going to try to fetch basics. Simic Growth Chamber might be really bad. I have no ability to get to my snow-covered forest right now. So, think play the Scalding Tarn. That's going to give me the option to get to a snow-covered island, and then just pass. Sometimes the story sucks, but it's usually worth it. Yeah. Exactly. Like, they conceded. Alright. I think they're playing the deck we played last league. Like, I don't assume it's the exact one, but, like, that's definitely our experience, was like, suck and die. Alright, so Aether Gust seems like it'll be fire, and then Anger might be okay. I'm not going to board in the Anger without having more information. I think we'll cut Archmage's Charm, the one Ice-Fang. The Ice-Fang's probably fine. One Cryptic. And a Thought Scour. Yeah, let's do that. But yeah, because like I find that a lot of the time if you play something like Infect or... Yeah, they probably already won a match. Hey, we won a match. We won a match 2-0. This is a fine hand. You get to go Steam Vents into Snow-Covered Forest. But like a lot of the time when you play something like Mono Red Prowess or Infect, a lot of the time all day long your stories are like, well, I played a Glistener Elf and then I killed them. And like there's interesting stories, but like the Wrenn and Six Cryptic Command Assassin's Trophy deck, it's like, yo, let me tell you this game I played. And the ensuing saga tends to be pretty neat. Okay, there is a chance... There's a chance they get a Blood Moon down here. If that's the case, we're going to fetch a... Steam Vents? No, I got to get Basic Island. It means I can't play my Wrenn and Six, but it means I'll be able to Aether Gust the Moon. Yeah, okay, so we're getting Basic Island here. Snow-covered, since we do play Astrolabe. Blood Moon's fine. It's not my favorite thing, but Ice-Fang's a great draw. And Basic Island's also okay here. So I have this Aether Gust. I don't need to use it yet. I could put multiple fetch lands into play first. I think they're Ponza. No kidding, Roy. Yeah, I don't think they're playing the white from my last deck, but yeah, they're the last deck was basically Ponza with like white in it for no particularly good reason. Hex Drinker. Yeah, sure. Level up only as a sorcery. Please level it up twice. Please level it up. Oh my god, they leveled it up twice. This game is amazing. They're going to concede again on turn 2. Oh my god. Oh, and there's my Sinkhole. So even if they resolve a Planeswalker now, we're going to be great. Alright. So, play a fetch. Wrenn and Six. Ping. And crack in for 1. think they're Ponza. You're hilarious. No, we knew they were Ponza from match 1, dude. Like, oh, Bloodbraid. It is going to kill my Wrenn and Six. Into Magus. All right, there are multiple moons in play. Yeah. So, we lose Wrenn and Six, but Wrenn and Six got me a 1-for-1, so. It's not really what you want your Wrenn and Six. That was a tremendous draw. Okay, so I think want to oh, and that's not snow covered. That's why. Okay, got it. I mean, hey man, they blood braided into a Magus right afterwards. They're fine. They don't need shit. So that's really good. Hex Drinker. Sure, why not? All right. So if I bolt the Magus and gust the Blood Moon, I can fetch with my Flooded Strand and then block one of their blood braids. Oh no, I can't fetch. So I can't give my guy Death Touch. So I think we go Bolt. We're going to have to deal with this Hex Drinker rather quickly. So I think we go Bolt a Bloodbraid, Gust a Magus. And then we have Sinkhole for the Hex Drinker. Which is kind of crappy because it means we can't get rid of this Blood Moon. Yeah, they've had a pretty fire pair of. We're gonna use the Sinkhole on the Hex Drinker. I guess I could have used it this turn and then and sunk extra mana into it, but snow permanent. It's not a snow permanent. All right. And they put the Magus on the bottom. Okay, so they want gas. I see. Okay, so we're going to play another fetch. Going to Sinkhole their Hex Drinker. Pay almost full retail. I'll just get the Wrenn and Six out of here because I cannot use it. I guess I should have attacked there since I'm not planning on blocking with Ice-Fang. So don't have the 4th Bloodbraid, please. Surprised we don't have any main deck Wraths. What Temur Wrath do you think I should be playing? I definitely think I'll board in Anger on the next game. I just wasn't 100% sure like what kind of build they were on. Like if it was full of Planeswalkers, then I really don't want that. Anger. Yeah. Well, this deck is... So I think Modern is not a good format to be playing main deck Wraths right now. Even Sweltering Suns is like excessive. It's the same reason you don't play like Ice-Fang and Astrolabe and Opt. It's just too much mucking around and you're just gonna die. Star of Extinction. I mean, we could almost play it, but only if we were playing Boros Reckoner, which we could also be playing. Or True Fire Captain. Could play 8 copies of that effect in this format. Plus, you could play Blasphemous Act, so you could play 8 copies of the Wraths that do excessive amounts of damage to your opponent. So, if we want to play a bad deck, like a properly bad deck on purpose. All right, El Rey Uno. He's your turn. I love how sad True Fire Captain was in that cycle. I think there were worse. I think there were worse cards in that cycle. The green-white one was really busted and limited, but like that was it. The blue-black one, again, really good and limited, but that's it. Crackling Drake was nuts. Do you think Star of Extinction would be more powerful at hit players? I don't think so. I just feel like it would cause a lot of draws. I'm so ready for you to come into Vintage Rotisserie Draft with like the stipulation that you're like trying to draft a deck that causes draws. Seasoned Pyromancer, yeah, that's fine. They tanked a good long while on that one. Blood Moon and Blood Braid. No, Blood Moon and Verdant Catacombs. Yeah, makes sense. Hive. Yeah, picked up a Hive. Too easy to hate out. No kidding. See, your red-green like aggro strategy. Yeah, but like your red-green aggro strategy was really easy to hate out too because we just kill you. That is a tremendously bad draw. I think our 27 land deck with the Mystic Sanctuary engine might be a little soft to Blood Moon. What do you think? I think I might want those Nature's Claims. Yikes. True. We haven't drawn a single Astrolabe. That's kind of super punishing too. Or Uro. All right, we're in a bit of trouble now. So I want the anger. Keep on top decking mountains. I know. I'm a chicken, Roy. All right. Well, I can't even cast that. Got it. All right. Too many Blood Moons. So Nature's Claim, Anger. Sinkhole was not great. And okay. Uro's tricky if we get hit on colors. Growth Spiral. Am I happy with this setup? Just kind of shave on everything, get this interaction in. I feel like Tireless Tracker is supposed to be good here. I don't know what I would cut for it, but I guess having this many Cryptics... Alright, I'm going to cut one Cryptic for a Tireless Tracker and the Archmage's Charm, and the idea with that is that they're triple blue. I need to get to the mid game. Like it's gonna this game is gonna look hilarious if we get to the mid game unmolested. It's gonna look hilarious, and we're just gonna bulldoze them. But it's the ones where we kind of have a bit of clunk going on. This one's okay because we've got Astrolabe into Gust into Charm, no problem. So we do need to draw a little bit more gas, but this is actually a pretty good hand. But yeah, I got the chart. Yeah. But it's the ones where you draw multiple triple blue spells and then you get Blood Moon and you're just like, right, Sadness. I remember Sadness. And they have to mulligan aggressively sometimes, so that might shoot them in the foot. Shoot them in the foot. This hand is pretty good. It actually looks like a hand and not like a Sarah Jessica Parker. I mean, foot. They mull to 5. Okay, I guess we're winning. Sweet. Are they considering going to 4? decided into mono red prowess. Ah, the damping spheres. We left them in the sideboard. I definitely thought we were going to be a dog to the iceberg deck, but we managed to pull that out pretty nicely on the back of having 4 Archmage's Charm and 4 Cryptic. That was a pretty good draw. So I think I Scalding Tarn for basic island here. I just want to get as many basics into play as quickly as possible. Astrolabe helps me cheat a little, but I want to rely on it as little as possible. They had no ramp on turn 1, which is pretty brutal. I guess that's probably what they were mulling to, and the fact that they didn't hit any when they're probably playing about 10. Well, so they need ramp and a payoff. So I guess they got to a point where they didn't have both in their 7 and their 6. It's like Infect, right? You have to have the creature and you have to have some number of pump spells until you get to your 5. And then you just make peace with having a creature. All right, what is this? Please let it be something boltable. Simian Spirit Guide so that they can Molten Rain. No, thank you. No, thank you. I reject your reality and substitute this Aether Gust. I'm enjoying the card advantages, though. Thank God you're playing Simian Spirit Guide so you can really get people with that turn 2 Molten Rain. Whew. All right. Shock this, pass the turn. Looks like we're going to be in good shape from here. And they put the Molten Rain on top, so we're going to see it again here. Molten, what the hell? What are the odds? Can't believe they drew that. Jesus. All right. So the question is, it's not a question. I do go shields down here because I don't have another counter, but I get a clue. I could have shocked the Breeding Pool to have Bolt up. I don't know if it's worth it. If they have like Bloodbraid into Lightning Bolt here, it's really gross, but I think we'll recover. I guess Bloodbraid into like Molten Rain would be really bad too. Blood Moon. Yep, that's fine. Not great, but fine. I have only the single green source, but this Tireless Tracker is going to kill the hell out of them. Another mountain, you say? Very well. All right, we'll crack a clue and swing. Oh, Uro, you say? I think I'm actually going to sit on this Uro. I got stuff to do with my mana. Can play Ice-Fang and Bolt. So, Molten Rain, you say? Sure. Ice-Fang. Snick. Alright. Angry God. And they concede. That's fair. Alright. Rolling into match number 4. We'll see if we can make it all the way through this league. Oh. Pretty wiped out, but... we did it. We did do it. I mean, they did mold a 5. On the die roll, terrible hand. Yes, much better hand. I think we tossed the Cryptic. Yeah. I need red, so this will be steam vents. Really have a knack for piloting these upper mid-range decks. I'd like to think so. I like to think that I actually have a style of deck that I'm good at. I know you said upper mid-range because like I say upper mid-range or control. I mean, it just depends on getting into like weird, you know, what do they call it? Like etymology, like minutia. But it's definitely something I enjoy, which makes it Wall of Blossoms. Okay, so this is Soul Herder. Okay. So I'm safe for a little while, so I'm just going to ramp with Uro. And then we've got this Cryptic up. Because I didn't have removal if they had the Soul Herder that turn. Wrenn and Six can't kill the Soul Herder because it's going to slide the wall. They didn't have it. Okay. Is this Soul Herder? If it is, I would have expected them to have something to play on this turn. Although I guess they have flash stuff. Get my second breeding pool here. Okay. So from here on out, just playing a classic control game here. I mean, the thing about playing the... Oop, did I? Yeah. The reason Wrenn and Six is as low on loyalty as it is nitty gritty, sure. The reason Wrenn and Six is so low on loyalty is that I had to deal with the... yeah, that's fine. That's fine. To deal with the Hierarch. So I get to ding my Wrenn and Six here. And there's a good chance if I try to ping their Ice-Fang next turn, they'll have Ephemerate. So we're probably just going to end of turn Ice-Fang here, and then, well, no, actually we're going to Growth Spiral first. Yeah, play with Scalding Tarn. Gonna reset that? I think so. Yeah. Can reset it with Sanctuary. Yep. Play this Ice-Fang. Draw the Growth Spiral. And unfortunately, this can't get a green source. Otherwise, I'd be able to play it again. Just get a tap land there. So, didn't get to silence. Upkeep silence. Alright, let's Growth Spiral in response, because I still have Cryptic up if I do that. Do I want to put this Mystic Sanctuary down and get nothing? I do not. So I can't play spells this turn, but I can activate my Wrenn and Six. I think I'm just going to activate it to pick up a land. Okay, and then play that land. And that's fine. So, they didn't get much out of that. It might be their loop with Eternal Witness instead of Time Warp. Second Ice-Fang. I can't play any spells. Sure. Alright, so we're going to block one of them. Hierarch, sure. Alright, so I can reset the Growth Spiral that's in my bin. with this Mystic Sanctuary and Mystic Sanctuary, but I think we just want a Growth Spiral here. Sick. And I think I want to Archmage's Charm myself, and then if they counter it, I can just reset it. They do have the Spell Queller. Sure. I can kill that. I could play that. Sure. Yeah, sure. Okay. Misty. So pick up the Misty from the graveyard. Let's grab my mountain now. Target permanent to its owner's hand, draw a card. Yeah. Get that one out of here. So they're still gonna have a Spell Queller, but it's just not gonna be on the battlefield. Oh, I could take their Hierarch here. I think I'm gonna do that. Yeah, why not? That's mine now. You made that? No, I made that. And then I'm gonna play this Astrolabe. Oh, another Wrenn and Six. That's not bad. So Wrenn and Six gets dinged here. Alright. Yes. Are we good? We're good. Growth Spiral's an okay pickup. I've got an Uro in my bin that's sort of eating a hole. So let's get rid of the Ice-Fang. What is this? Resto. Counter target spell, return target permanent. Choose that spell, this permanent. Get out of here, nerd. Force of Negation. Oh, that's really good. So I could Growth Spiral to try to draw an answer, but that's less than ideal. Okay, so that's fine. So they get that. Okay. So they slide their Ice-Fang, they draw a card. Okay. So I can bring in Uro and then pick up any card that I want. I could just play the second Wrenn and Six and ping that Ice-Fang. Although it doesn't really do that much for me. Picking up Archmage's Charm doesn't do that much for me either. So I think I let this Wrenn and Six die this turn. But I definitely want to get my Uro down. And while doing so, I can draw Archmage's Charm and have that up. So that's what we're going to do. So Mystic Sanctuary, put Archmage's Charm on top. Okay. So I could have put Cryptic on top because I'm going to get an extra land drop. That's fine. Yes. Cast Uro. Green, green, blue, blue. Actually, cancel. Cast Uro. Green, green, blue, blue. Use the Hierarch because I'm smart like Roy. Be like Roy. Be like Roy. Can eat my Scalding Tarn, it's fine. And my Misty, sure, I've got another one in my hand. Okay. Draw a card. Path in response. That's so rude. Alright, sure. Alright, draw. Jeez, probably running low on actual lands in the deck now. Resto. How will I ever deal with a 3/4? That was a really intense turn. I definitely wasn't expecting Resto into Force of Negation. And then they had Path on top of all of that. Wow. Deck is super mana efficient. Witness gets back Silence. So I know they've got Queller in their hand. So I can get my last Sanctuary, reset this Cryptic. Pretty sure they're getting Silence back here. They get Misty Rainforest. Okay, so they want the Spell Queller. Shoot. And that was a land drop, so I should have... Shoot. Okay. Play Wrenn and Six, try to ping the Eternal with this. Alright. Do I have any lands left in my deck? I do not. Okay. I think I should be firing off this Growth Spiral. Uro. Sick. Is exactly what I was looking for. So I can escape him next turn. Sweet. That was also a good draw. Alright. So I know their hand is Spell Queller +2. So they get to kill my Wrenn and Six here. I don't think there's any way they play Sanctuary. They would never have enough islands. And they don't play any spells. They just play a lot of creatures and sliding effects. Okay, so if I Archmage's Charm myself, they want to hold on to their Spell Queller. And I have Cryptic again on my turn, so... whatever counter magic and interaction they have here, they're likely to want to fire it off. Yep. And Lightning Bolt is also a great draw. So we're going to fire off this Uro first, and then if they try to interact with it, we get to bolt the Spell Queller. Yeah, cool. Yeah, alright. Nice. No land, no problem. Alright. Do I want to kill the Queller before I let them draw more cards? I think so. So bolt the Queller, get out of here. So the trigger, there's the charm, target player draws 2. Unless I want to take their Hierarch again, which I don't. I think the first one was a bit goofy. These cards don't do anything, but I could put them in the graveyard for Delve Fuel and or Uro Fuel, so. So Uro's like the Abyss, because he's a 7/7, although they do have the Ice-Fang, but I've got the Magmatic Sinkhole that'll eat through that, so. Okay, and they scooped. Wow. That seems a little preemptive. Alright, I'm not sure about Sinkhole, but I definitely think I want Anger. And I think I want Veil. Gust is like pretty bad here, I think. I feel like Damping Sphere could really screw them up, but probably not. Surgical's probably okay. Track could be okay. So Cryptic and Charm are clunky. Bolt's pretty great. I wonder if Sinkhole... Without Sinkhole, I have no kill for Resto. Uro's really vulnerable. Wrenn and Six seem kind of medium. I hate cutting Wrenn and Six in this deck. Is Aether Gust relevant? I don't think so. I don't think Aether Gust is good. Because most of their blowouts are on white and blue spells. Is Veil actually good? I don't think it is, right? It might be good against their sideboard cards. If I don't bring Veil, what do I want most? I think it's just the Wrenn and Sixes. Yeah, I don't think Veil's good here. I don't even know if Tracker's good here. It's definitely better than like the umpteenth Cryptic and Archmage's Charm. Anger is definitely very good in this matchup. Because their flicker effects won't save their creatures. Yeah, I think this is how we're gonna go. And Wrenn and Six can team up with Anger and kill their walls or their angel in odd corner cases. That is a terrible opening hand. I'm not keeping that. That's much better. Thank you, deck. Alright, we're pitching the Cryptic here. We've got an incredibly playable hand. Nice. So, I no longer have a choice to make. I was going to say I have a choice to make with my Flooded Strand of do I get a Snowland or do I get a Steam Vent? But now I don't have to do that. And is there any reason not to just bolt this? Nope. Okay. Nice. Sure. So, Astrolabe. Okay, because I drew that, I'm going to sit. And now we have options. They shocked? Alright, so this is Snake. Yeah, Snake's fine. Snake is not great against our deck, so. Alright, so from here on out, we're trying to play around your boy Spell Queller. Thought Scour myself. Options feel so good. Yeah, right? That feels less good. I'm playing Astrolabe here. Okay. So hopefully they slow roll this game. Ephemerate. So that's going to draw them 2 cards. And they can also play Jace the Mind Sculptor next turn, which they usually play. I think I'm going to try to fight over this. This is probably a terrible idea. Yeah. Alright. So. Our hand has not worked out the best. Suppose they don't get to hit us this turn, but if they have Jace here, we're Lavinia. Okay. 2 more turns on suspend. This is like a kind of awful draw right now because they have enough power that they're just gonna kill it. I think we just play Breeding Pool. And we just get hit. I guess they can't Spell Queller right now. I don't know any more cards in their hand. I think the turn where this Bolt comes back is probably the better one. I don't love the idea of just burning Wrenn and Six to just get hit. What is this? What is this doing here? Is it for Magmatic Sinkhole? Like my one of Magmatic Sinkhole? Maybe they just play a one of in their main deck and they didn't think that they should board it out against us. That could be fair. Modern is messed up. Seems like it'll be good against Tron. Alright. Bolt. Slowly coming back. Woof. This does mean, though... I've got 3 islands in play, so this can get me a Mystic Sanctuary. So I can get back any of those spells in my yard. So that next turn we can play Bolt, Bolt. We can start having things like Cryptic Command up. Resto. Oh, that's so brutal because I don't have anything. Yeah. They just keep drawing cards. So many cards. So we're going to hit for 6 here. Oh, Lavinia is going to stop this. I'm an idiot. Yeah. All right. I figured it out. I figured out why they play Lavinia. Oh, they also have Teferi. Cool. So we're screwed coming and going. Got it. Jesus. All right. So yeah, so can't. So we flooded out brutally on top of everything else, but I think we definitely want to bring in Veil of Summer for the last game against Delay. Although it's really bad against Teferi, so 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Sure. If they have another counter, I mean, I just want to see if they have it. They'd force there. Okay, we're still dead here, but Hail Mary Bolt was not going to get there. All right. So Aether Gust doesn't do anything. Veils could be pretty good, I think. I think they come in over some of these clunk. All right. I think that's it. Yeah. It's really hard to attack that deck. It's actually a lot like playing against Infect, except they grind you out instead of killing you quickly. Oh, this hand is so brutal. Alright. This is considerably better. Okay, they mulligan too, so feel better about that. I'm going to toss this Sanctuary. This hand could be anything. It could be a boat. I would love to see them turn 0 force this. That would make me happy. Do it. And do it. Second Astrolabe. Second Astrolabe's not the end of the world. We're definitely having to have some quality mana here. Ooh, Snick. We get some Snick on Snick violence. Yeah. It's a bit of a peppy Mystic Sanctuary showing up well before it's needed. I think we get basic. Oh, we've got the field in this deck, so let's diversify already. Might as well. Oh boy. There's a Veil in my bin now, which is awesome because I love my opponent seeing that I have that before I play it. Okay. Do you has a snack? They do not. I suppose if they just jam it to Fairy here, I'm not going to be thrilled. Can actually play Uro next turn. That's crazy. It's not a great plan against the Teferi deck, but Teferi Spell Queller deck. But Ice-Fang seems good at this end of turn. All right. I think I can hold the Coatl back. I think we go fetch land pass. Which sucks to do, but okay, they didn't have anything. So they're definitely sitting on Spell Queller, I would think. So we're gonna... So Veil doesn't actually protect your spell from Spell Queller. Just because of the way it had to be templated. I assume it had to be templated this way because otherwise it'd have too many words. Okay, so because they did that, they can't Spell Queller me now. So the question is, what spell am I resetting here? Veil lets me attempt to resolve an Uro, which would pull me really far ahead. But I think the safer play is just to reset Archmage's Charm here. Oh, I don't have a charm, because we just get Cryptic. Yes. Okay. I can reset the Veil for next turn if I want. I think I could have attacked there. I'm a goof. It's a careful dance here. Yeah, that sucks. So, counter target spell, draw a card, I guess. There's just like no chance this resolves. They've got a Spell Queller, and then they immediately get to Teferi, bounce the Queller. So how badly does this go if I just let it resolve? I think I'm doing that. I think the disaster if I let it, if I try to stop it. Okay, they bounce my Coatl. Sure. So I've got Wrenn and Six here to kill the Teferi. So I wonder if... So if I use the Sanctuary to reset Veil... The Veil doesn't actually prevent Spell Queller. So what I need to resolve this turn is Wrenn and Six. Okay, so I have enough green mana, which I was almost worried about. So we play Ice-Fang at sorcery speed. Hopefully they quell this because they think they're going to just chomp our value. They did not. Sucks to be me, I guess. Yeah. I suppose we never saw the Spell Queller. Maybe they don't have it. That seems hopeful to the point of ignorance, but I guess that's where we're at. Suppose if I don't play into this, could end up better off. Nah. Alright. Crush me. Yeah, it sucks. God, that sucks so bad. I'll put it on top. Okay. So they didn't have the Queller, which is like somewhat heartening. Yeah, I know. It's just the worst feeling into the world to have to jam into a Spell Queller with Teferi already on the battlefield. Like, that's just... There's like nothing worse in the world. So, first thing, we gotta try to attack the Teferi. Because if I can't do that, then there's no point in playing the Wrenn and Six. Teferi is so brutal here. It's just unbeatable, huh? Yeah. Play Wrenn and Six. Okay. Ping the Hierarch. So the Teferi's in play. I can't stop that now. And then I guess I play this Tracker. Like, they're down to, like, not an insane number of cards in hand. So, like, there's a world in which they're kind of low on gas. So they've just got a bunch of, well, I mean, nope. Alright, so I can play Sanctuary here and reset something, but is there anything worth resetting? Not really. So I'll just play Simic Growth Chamber and pick up Sanctuary. Alright. We're like not in as bad of a place as I assumed we were going to be there, so. Oh, you gotta be... Ugh. Sure. Suppose we can Cryptic the Teferi, but that doesn't really get us anywhere. Oh, good God. What is this? Jace? Not Jace. Please no Jace. Oh, this is their Uro, of course. Crap. Yeah. Oh my God. Wow. Oh my God. I might be done with this. So he Cryptic that. I mean, I tapped that Lightning Bolt. So we bolt the Teferi. Oh my god, I lost 15 cards there. How many Uros? Just 2. They had a Force of Negation, and I have a Veil of Summer right here. I'm not allowed to play. Alright, I'm done with this. Well played, opponent. You got it. I'm suspending this league, I think. I am not up to finishing this. I'm just going to try to get the 3-2 tomorrow. And I hope anyone tuning in has enjoyed this. This Temur Cryptic and 6 deck is pretty good. It was a blast to play. The strength of it definitely came out in the match against Iceberg. Although I think I like the Iceberg deck better than this one. This was just ever so slightly set up better for that particular mirror match. That said, Mr. Reb's Temur Uro Cryptic and 6 deck, which you can see here, has birds in it, which I'm not 100% playing just birds. Obviously, these Once Upon a Times are now banned, so we'd have to shift up the deck list a bit. But this one was playing Deprive Cryptic Command instead of Archmage's Charm. It was playing 3-3 instead of 4-4, which seemed a lot less clunky. But what the birds were here for was to ramp you into the Uros and Tireless Trackers and Dryads on 3. And it just seemed really well thought out. Maybe the deck I was playing just now was equally well thought out. Maybe with more reps, it would feel better. But the other one was like banging from the start. Anywho, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking out the YouTube. Lots of other videos on here, mostly modern stuff. There's a chunk of Pioneer, but Pioneer doesn't seem to be as popular right now. I'm going to go to bed and try to get myself fully well in the face of this regular old common cold. And I hope you have yourself the very best night, very best week.